Hello CJ Math students, welcome to homework 3.14, simple interest. Remember the equation that we're working with is I equals PRT. I stands for interest, P stands for principal, R stands for rate, T stands for time. Watch the video, check off, the calculator's okay. This is due on the Monday, actually you should say Tuesday that you get back. Right, so Ms. Baxter deposits $2,000 into an account. It earns 5% interest. How much is Ms. Baxter's investment worth after 8 years? So a time of 8 years. Okay, so your formula is I equals PRT. Your interest is something that you don't know. Your principal, the initial investment, is $2,000. Your rate, the interest rate that she's getting is 5%, so as a decimal 0.05. And then the time that you left it in the bank was 8 years. So we go ahead and multiply that across 2,000 times 0.05 times 8. Means you have an interest of $800. But that is not the correct answer because it asks for how much is her investment worth. The entire investment is worth the initial principal, $2,000, plus the interest she earns. So it's worth $2,800. Okay. If I just asked you how much was her interest, then 800 would be your answer. But I asked you how much the entire investment was worth. So take a look at number 2. It says Joey made a deposit into an account that earns 6% interest. After 3 years, he had $400. What was his initial deposit? So we don't know what our principal is, right? So I equals PRT. So our interest is something that we know. That was $400 to begin with. Our principal is something that we don't know. We know our rate of 6%, 0.06, and we know our time of 3 years. So 3 years. So we need to figure out what our principal is, right? So let's multiply these two together at least. So we have 400 is equal to 6% of 3, 0.06 times 3 is 0.18. And then we still need to figure out P. So just like with ratios, how do we solve this? You literally just divide both sides by 0.18. 0.18, 0.18. Right? When I do that, this cancels off, and P is equal to 400 divided by 0.18, which is, we'll call it 2,222 repeated, so we'll just call it that, right? And this one simply does ask for the deposit, right? So it doesn't ask you for your total investment or anything like that, so it's just going to be your deposit is equal to $2,222, and you could probably say 22 cents, but it's not that big of a deal, right? I'm going to let you do number 3 on your own. So let's take a look at number 4. It says Peter is calculating his interest. He deposits $275. He gets an 8% interest rate, and it works for 12 years. And Peter decides to do the following. He says interest equals PRT, 275 times 0.8 times 12, 2,640, but he did something incorrectly. And his incorrectness was here. Interest is equal to 275. 8% as a decimal is 0.08, not 0.8. So times 0.08 times 12, right? And so if we do that math, then his correct amount of interest should be $264. Take a look at Isabella's case. She has a $3,000 principal with 4% interest, and she keeps it in the bank for 6 years. She says, hey, 3,000 times 0.04 times 6, that looks right, 3,720. But then Isabella says, hey, it's $6,720. No. Isabella decided to add the principal twice to the interest, right? So she ended up doing 3,720 plus another 3,000 to get 6,720. That's incorrect. You can't do that. The correct amount is simply 3,000 times 0.04 times 6 3,000 times 0.04 times 6, and that's equal to $720. On the backside, we've got a new type of AIMSweb. This is the AIMSweb that we'll be working with when we get back from break, so I'm just going to try and introduce it to you now. This is not for content grade, but I just want to show you what the problems look like. Some of them are familiar, some of them are not. So for number 1, it says solve for x. Basically 13 plus x equals 21. Ask yourself, what number plus 13 is 21, right? And the way to do this is simply just subtract both sides by 13. If you do that, you'll get x is equal to 8. And 13 plus 8 is 21, right? Number 2, when you see problems like this means 6 times 6, not 6 times 2. So that's 36. These problems you should be familiar with. When you simply simplify in fractions, you get an answer of 5 over 12. And then a problem again, like number 4, what number plus 39 is 41? So again, hopefully you could just do it in your head, but if you want to prove it to yourself, just subtract 39 from both sides, and you get x is equal to 2, right? Because 41 minus 39 is 2, 2 plus 39 is 41. I'm going to hold off on some of these other ones. I'm going to allow you to do them. Number 10 is a little bit different. It's what number minus 3 is 21. So instead of subtracting 3 from both sides, let's do the opposite. Let's add 3 to both sides. When we do that, it works out beautifully. X is equal to 27 plus 3, 30. Isn't 30 minus 3 27? Yeah. Okay, so you can kind of see how these kind of fit together. Remember number 11, that's 14 times 14. Again, I'll allow you to figure that out yourself. 16, what number plus 22 is 28. Number 18, what number 25 minus what number is 5 is what you're asking yourself. You should be able to figure out everything else out on your own. Right? That's it. Call me if you have questions.